call Ria Bond.
I'm proud to rise on behalf of New Zealand First and take this short call of the Committee of the Whole House on the Customs and Excise Tobacco Products Budget Measures Amendment Bill. Mr Chair, New Zealand First recognises that smoking is harmful. We do not encourage nor do we support smoking. What we do support, Mr Chair, is for the members of the public to have access to programs that inform the public of the health risks associated with smoking. We've seen over the years on cigarette packaging that we've had graphic details of warnings on those cigarettes. In fact, there are about 14 of those graphic warnings that came onto the cigarette packets. Mr Chair, there is an overwhelming evidence to support the notion that what stops people from smoking is the right information, the correct education, and the time and support of not only their family but members of the community. In Invercargill, we have a great program that helps smokers who choose to quit, and we have a really good wraparound service throughout the agencies that in fact do help those who really do want to quit, not for financial reasons but for the reasons that it doesn't look quite so good in their family and the pressures that are being put on parents. Mr Chair, this tobacco tax is the most efficient way that this government can gather revenue, and that revenue is coming from a legal activity that targets law-abiding citizens, and I question, along with other members in this House today, where would the $425 million go to? New Zealand First wants assurances from the Health Minister that the $425 million revenue grab will in fact go towards what New Zealand people need, and that's smoking cessation programs. What we don't want to see, and I think the Minister stood up earlier and directly avoided the request of insurances from this side of the House, was we wanted the assurance that the money that was gained for the $425 million would in fact go back into these programs and not go back into the coffers to pop up a failing population-based funding formula in this country. We here in the House should remember that there are many harmful things out there in our communities, like vehicle exhaust emissions, food that leads to obesity, diabetes, tooth decay, alcohol, that in my opinion leads to instant deaths on our roads, and that's a damn tragedy. Alcohol is more dangerous than cigarettes because alcohol has far more social harm associated to it, and we know this. The question is, why has alcohol not been factored into the equation in tax like cigarettes have been? We see daily on the TV that we have alcohol rehab advertising saying that if alcohol affects your life, please come to us. I'd like to see that alcohol isn't simply looked over as being a problem to our society, and in fact it does weigh heavily within our health system. Mr Chair, it is high time that this government gets a grip, because smoking is legal. It's a darn well legal activity. All tobacco products are legal. Yet time after time, smokers in New Zealand continue to be heavily penalised for the freedom to choose whether they want to smoke or not. This is a ruthless tax target that targets the activity of a large number of New Zealanders who are already on minimum wages and low incomes. This is a ruthless tax on our poor. Smokers should not be classed as second-class citizens, and we have seen how this has occurred. There's no smoking in pubs anymore. There's no smoking in public anymore. And in fact, we've just heard that there had been a proposed ban for smoking in vehicles that you own as a New Zealander. Smokers are forced to hide behind the back of buildings like they are some kind of dirty second-class citizen. We need to remember these are law-abiding people who choose to smoke and self-fund their addiction. That addiction is nicotine. We've also heard in the House through the first and second calls that smokers fund their health issues by 3.5 times the health cost to that individual. This tobacco tax does have unintended consequences, like smash and grabs from our dairies, black market tobacco sales, grow your own at-home tobacco incentives, make people choose between a bottle of milk or a packet of cigarettes. The actual price of this tobacco tax will be the price on our community's safety and our health and our well-being. Mr Chair, when I looked at this bill, I thought about how this would affect my area, Invercargill, and I thought about deprivation. And I want to inform the House that how this tax would affect my area in Invercargill. 18.2% of Invercargill's population smokes over the age of 15 plus. Compared to a national level, that's only 13.7%.
I call